Hello and welcome to the second part of this video regarding how to kickstart your career in financial planning. Now, if you haven't watched the first part, you can click on this I button to check it out. Now, today I'll be discussing about my journey, about my career experience in financial planning. So it all started in my second year of graduation when one of my close friend suggested me to read a newspaper known as Life Mint. I took his suggestion and subscribed for it. And while I was reading the newspaper, I was hooked to the last few pages of the newspaper, where the personal finance volume used to come. A few notable authors, used to explain very clearly regarding why to invest early, what are the advantages of taking an insurance, how to choose a mutual fund, etc. So as I was growing curious about this profession, I went ahead and searched in the internet what are the courses you have to do to become to get into this profession, to become a financial planner. So I found out that this is the professional uh, career path is called financial planning for retail clients, and the most recognized certification in this line is certified financial planner. Along with that, you'll also need a license called registered investment advisor, because investment advisory being an integral part of financial planning. SEBI mandates it uh, for any professional who wants to continue their advisory journey in India. They need to have the RIA license. So I was just contemplating whether to do CFP. I went online, I checked online, and found out that there are two pathways. There is regular pathway, and then there is challenge pathway. In the challenge pathway, you can skip giving the 5 modules. You just have to give only one, the final module exam. But in the criteria section, you also need to be a chartered accountant, a cost accountant, or a company secretariat, or a PGDM course on advanced wealth management, which is conducted by Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. So I was just thinking what to do, and at the same time, I checked about a few openings that was going on to hire a financial planner. I saw that in the job description, it was mentioned that the candidate needs to be either a CFP, or the candidate must have cleared in NISM Investment Advisor Level 1 and Level 2 exams. So I was just saying, wow, we can do that. Let's give this NISM exams to at least get a job, because what I found out is that and also notice is that in this profession you need field practice to understand individual client problems regarding finances, and solve their problems, obviously, as a financial planner. And that is only possible either in a job, or you have to have your own business. So in August 2016, I finally cleared the level 1 of the NISM investment advisory exam in my second attempt. And also at that same time, I decided that I will go for CFP in the challenge pathway mode. So now in the pathway mode, there are certain criteria. The first one I told you, that you have to be either a CA, or a cost accountant, or a company sector, or that course, the PGDM course I mentioned. So I opt for the PGDM course only in November 2016, and by February 2017, it was a distance course, by the way, and in February 2017, I cleared all the modules of the PGDM course in one attempt, and I got the certification also. Um, and Yeah, after that, I think in April 2017, I was searching for job along with attempting the NISM level 2 exams also. Finally, I got a job after not much search, I'll say. I got a job in startup fintech farm in Bangalore. They were looking for associate financial planner. Um, yeah, so I was I joined the job, and by 1 year I made kind of 15 to 20 plans. So I should say that I helped preparing the financial plans. Not I was not the only planner in that company. So yeah, and in I think in October 2018, I also cleared the NISM level 2 exam. Um, After that, I read somewhere that and finally recognized that I should go for the regular pathway in the CFP and not for the challenge pathway, because why to wait? Or there was another, to be a CFP you'll also need 3 years of experience in finance background, or 5 years of experience if you are working in non-finance sector. That is that is a criteria for both regular and challenge pathway. So I thought that why to wait for 3 years of work experience to get the certification. Let's by the parallelly, let's also give the exams. Also, I'll also have a good understanding, theoretical understanding of the subject. So finally, in January 2019, I registered for CFP, and my job was from 10 to 7 p.m. From Monday to Saturday, and I couldn't find any time for study. And I was getting so upset and frustrated that finally in April 2019, I quitted the job to pursue full time the CFP course. Yeah, I quitted the job, but it was my bad luck that at that point of time there was a contention that FPSB USA was taking over FPSB India, and so they stalled all the registrations of the module exams. So I couldn't give any exams from January 2019 till August 2019. But the good part is that I got a job in July 2019. And they said that they needed a financial analyst, not only a financial planner, because that requires research in some of the financial products. So I said yes to that job. One of the reasons I said yes is because the job was from Monday to Friday, so I thought that I can get some times in the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, to study CFP when the exams will start, and before starting also. So finally, in September 2019, they reopened the registrations, and I attempted my first module exam, which is tax planning, in November 2019. Um, and so while I was in this job, I studied and also attempted for these exams. By February 2020, I cleared all the module exams of CFP. I had to give investment planning module exam again. I had to reattempt because I didn't clear it in the first attempt. That was a real shame, but because that exam was one of the easiest module exams. But yeah, finally, eventually, I made it through. And in June 2019, I I completed the 3 years of experience and registered. I applied for the CFP certifications. Uh, I got the certification in August 2019, and yeah, I still continue that job. It's in Bangalore. I cannot take the name of the firm. You can go check out my LinkedIn profile to see the firm name where I'm still working as a financial analyst. Now, let me share a few helpful books and also helpful blogs which I still follow. One of the books one of the first books I read is How to Grow Your Business as a Financial Advisor. It's by Nandesh Desai of Jago Investor. It was a very useful and insightful book for a financial advisor. Uh, it was a great read. So I totally recommend this. The second book is also for investor and advisor also. This is called The Barefoot Investor by Scott Pape. This is one of the best books I've read regarding personal finance. Investors, clients also can read this. It's uh, it's such a insightful and very knowledgeable book. The third one, I have that Kindle versions. I don't have the paperback version of it. It's called Advisor That Sticks from Moria Somers. It is a great book and teaches you about how to present your advice in the most effective way. A few blogs I will share, which I still follow, is Subramani by P.V. Subramaniam. He has written a few books also on personal finance, how to grow rich, how to retire with only 40 rupees a day, etc. I also follow Jago Investor, of course. They have Manish Chauhan and then this right, these two people, they're humble people who are continuing this blog along with their practice in financial planning. Um, the other blog I follow is by Suresh Sadgopan, who is the manager and the CEO of Ladder 7 Investment Advisors. That is it. These three blogs are so well written for any financial advisor and also for the investor, for also for the clients who wants to understand the personal finance topics. I mean, I mean, it's highly recommended that to go and check out those blogs and also read these books to find in very deep knowledge regarding in this topic. That's it for today. I'll see you in another video. Thanks a lot.